Alright guys, here's the scoop. You're watching Boxing News TV. My name is Ames and we said we have much more boxing content coming your way. We are in Nottingham and I'm here with a face you will know very well. The ever polarising, outspoken Tyan Booth. Tyan, how's life?
It's all good, just relaxing in the travel lodge, having a nice coffee. You're coming from Birmingham, aren't you?
Yeah.
I'm up in Sheffield, so I thought I'd meet you in the middle. So we're in the travel lodge. 30 quid a night, you can't go wrong, can you?
Can't go wrong at all. So I want to get your thoughts on some of the stuff in the boxing world, which is why I'm here. And obviously you've got your views on things, like you being a former Ingle Gym resident. Current Ingle Gym resident. I wanted to get your thoughts on another Ingle Gym native in the form of Kell Brooks against one of the pound for pound best, Terence Crawford. This is a fight that's been talked about for a while. I believe the announcement has been made now. When you heard Kell Brooks and Terence Crawford, what was the first thing that came to your mind?
First thing I thought was, I was seeing the slander. I was seeing Kell being ridiculed, by people.
Mm-hmm.
When that fight was mentioned, like, oh, Kell will get battered, Kell this, Kell that, Kell the other. Why is he fighting him? He's one of the best pound for pound fighters in the world. Why is Kell fighting him? But when Kell fights Jojo Dan and Kevin Bizier, he gets slagged off. So he wants to test himself, against the pound for pound best. Nothing wrong with that at all. I just don't know where Kell's at. I don't know what kind of what stage he's at.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
What stage do you think he's at then?
But we'll see, and it's hard to gauge because when he boxed Sean Porter, that was a good fight, wasn't it? But that was quite a long time ago, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
How long ago was that? Was you in boxing then?
When he fought Sean Porter, 2015?
15, yeah, so 5 years ago. You know what I mean? I like Kell, he's a good fighter.
Yeah.
But it's hard to measure Kell against Frankie Gavin. And try and measure him against Crawford.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about levels, isn't it? Frankie Gavin, Kevin Bizier, Jojo Dan. We don't really know who these fuckers are, but hopefully Kell, he's fucked Dom and Kell off, hasn't he?
Before we get to that, actually, let's get into it. What about the split? What do you know about the strength of the relationship between Dom and Kell, and why, coming into what's believed to be the last portion of Kell's career, has he split with Dom?
They say that a change, is as good as a rest, but I don't think that really applies to this. You know what I mean? Because it's probably the last fight of Kell's, career.
Mm-hmm.
So it's he's been in the gym since he was 9 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's just trying to save a few quid, to be honest with you. Because Eddie Hearn's not really involved, is he? I don't think Eddie Hearn's promoting it.
No.
I think Bob Arum's getting on board, isn't he? So I don't know if Kell's just trying to save a few quid, but he needs a trainer, don't he? It's alright trying to save a few quid, but this is a big fight. You surely want to go out on a win, don't you?
Would you advise to split from Dominic Ingle?
But who's his trainer?
We don't know. Who do you think he'll go to?
Well, he can't go back to that fucking guy. What's
John
his name?
Fuchs.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. He's not prepared, to train a fighter of that level, especially against Terence Crawford. So Dominic, he kind of knows him inside out. So it's a bit of a gamble, leaving him, even just to save a few quid. I don't know. It's not. Surely you want to go out on a win, don't you? So you want the best, team possible, the best preparation possible.
Can he win without Dom Ingle against?
We don't know who the trainer is, do we?
Who would be a good fit for Kell?
Trainers. I don't rate a lot of trainers. A lot of trainers have got a big name, and they got that status, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of them, they haven't produced anybody. They've just took champions on. I'm not saying all of them. I'm saying a lot of them. The big names. They've took fighters on when they've already been established.
Mm-hmm.
Like Ben Davison. Is he a good trainer?
I think he is.
Why is he?
Well,
I'm not saying he's not, by the way.
Do you think Tyson Fury won the first fight against Deontay Wilder?
Yeah.
By the trainer?
Yeah. But was Tyson Fury being trained by Ben when he beat Klitschko?
No, but Ben Davison was behind Tyson Fury when he won the fight with Deontay Wilder. So So you got to give him that credit. I don't think you can take that credit away from him.
Yeah, but he'd already won against Klitschko. Without Ben Davison.
Mm-hmm.
Is Klitschko a big name? Did he not rule the heavyweight division for years and years?
Yeah.
That's a big name to have on you. And he was unbeaten. No, he wasn't unbeaten, but he was like on a winning streak, Klitschko. So I'm not saying Ben Davison's not a good trainer. He may well be, but Brendan Ingle.
Yeah.
He produced world champions from nothing, from little kids.
Mm-hmm.
Kell was just a little fat cunt, when he first came to the gym, 9 years old. Brendan training from early. Then Dominic took over, later on. So Brendan produced, Kell, Nassim Hamed, Johnny Nelson. Johnny Nelson lost his first 3 fights,
Yeah.
in the pros.
Right.
Brendan just kept, teaching him, just giving him that confidence, that self-belief.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean about trainers. You see a lot of these trainers holding pads. Pads mean nothing. There's too many pad men, not enough teachers. And Brendan was like a teacher, like Costamato.
Yeah.
Got into the mind. That's where it counts. To say like 90% is mental, 10% physical. So it's all about the mind. It's not about holding pads, doing all these fancy choreographed pad workouts.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about the mind, and people like Brendan. He got into your mind, give you that confidence and that belief. And when I was listening to him, I was winning fights. If you look at my record on the internet, when I was listening to Brendan and training and living the life, I was winning. Then I started going out partying and drinking and banging women, and I went downhill.
How much do you miss Brendan?
I miss him a lot, but you say time's a good healer, innit? So, have you got any family members who have died?
I'm very lucky that I don't remember.
Yeah, you're quite fortunate. Well,
yeah.
Some of mine have died, but after a while you kind of get used to it. It's life, innit? Mm-hmm. But Brendan, he won't die, like his legacy. That's what I mean. But how many trainers can say that? They produced fighters from nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So all these trainers around today, Ben Davison might be a brilliant trainer, he might be a fantastic trainer, I just don't know.
Is the damage that Kell Brooks has sustained, like the Golovkin fight and the Spence Jr. fight, a worry for you?
The damage, the eye socket damage? Well, he said that they kind of like made him into the Terminator, where they put a load of metal in him and that, and they really toughened up his face. So I don't know how fragile his cheekbones are from now, because he's had them both replaced. But Terence Crawford don't hit as hard as Golovkin, does he?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. But then Errol Spence, he was a welterweight. He's not really known as a big puncher, is he? Errol Spence.
No.
But he still did a bit of damage, so I don't know, I think.
Well, bringing it back to Kell, he's at 147, and there's a lot of worries about him being at 147 coming to this fight with Crawford.
Yeah, mate, he's like 34 years old, so it's like the older you get, the harder it is to make the weight.
Yeah.
So, but that's what I mean, I don't know how he's been living, because I've been like in and out of the gym.
Yeah.
I think Kell left, didn't he? Didn't Kell fuck off? He went to that John Fuchs.
Yeah, I think he's in Spain right now.
Yeah, he's in Fort Ventura. No, he's back now. I seen him the other day.
Okay.
He's back. He looks in good shape. But there's a difference between like making the weight, and being able to fight 12 rounds at the weight against a top fighter like Terence Crawford.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone can make weight. I could make 6 stone now. I'm about 14 stone. If I really wanted to, I could make 6 stone. But you'd probably batter the fuck out of me. You might anyway.
I don't think so. Like, when Kell Brooks' name is mentioned, there's often this notion that about what he could have achieved and what he should have gone on to achieve, and then there's this statement of him being called a wasted talent for what he should have achieved. When you look at like Sean Porter, who boxed and beat, and what Sean Porter's gone on to do and face, and the performances he put in, it kind of makes you look a little bit further into Kell and maybe where he should have gone. What do you think about Kell being called in some circles a wasted talent?
It's kind of hard for me to speak, There's been so many times where I've wanted to do videos, saying, oh, this and that about this boxer and that boxer. But how can I speak? Because I haven't done anything myself. So for me to say he's a wasted talent, it's a bit daft, innit?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm laying it. I didn't even fucking win an area title. So, is Kell a wasted talent? He won a world title, a British title. He probably could have done. He probably could have done more, couldn't he, really?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? He's won a world title.
What do I think about Kell? I don't know. Like, I was going to speak to Frankie Gavin, and they said the same thing about Frankie, don't they?
Yeah, he was like a world champion amateur, but he never did anything in the pros, did he?
But the thing is, like, no one in Great Britain can take away his achievement. No one has ever done that from now until, even if there is someone, he'll always be the first. So when you talk about talent, I think he's achieved what he could have achieved in getting that, and no one else has achieved that. So I think it's sometimes a little bit harsh to call someone a wasted talent when boxers aren't here for the sake of boxing. Boxers are humans who are here for the sake of life, and a lot gets in the way. Like, Frankie had personal problems. I'm sure Kell obviously had things happen to him as well, and those sort of things have their effect. So personally, I think Kell should have, well, could have achieved more, but I don't know Kell well enough to put that label on him, but some people do.
Depends how you define success as well. Like, Joshua was a success, innit? He was selling drugs, getting locked up, going to court and that. So he's turned his life around, won a world title, Olympic gold medal, multi-millionaire. So he's done well on it. That's a success, isn't it? People saying, oh, he'll get schooled by Tyson Fury. Yeah, he probably will. But even if he does, he's still done well on it. How old is he now? 31. You don't have to do anything again. Some people are stuck in warehouses, picking up boxes, until they're 70. So is that a success in life? Depends how you define success, don't it?
Yeah.
Some people, like, you might be a good dad. That's a success, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even if you've had like 50 fights and no wins, like some journeyman. They might fucking be good dads, so they might have succeeded in that field. It's like, that's what I mean, like, people look at success now as having a blue tick.
Yeah.
Or having followers. That's not a success, is it? That's nothing. I've got a cousin here who's probably got about 200 followers on Instagram, but he's a good dad, and his kids love him, and he goes out to work. It's not like probably gets about 20 grand a year, but that's a success in a way. So it depends, innit? I don't think I could be stuck in a job until I'm 70, having a manager saying to me, hurry up and pick that box up. That for me is not good. I can't live like that. So it just depends how you define success, don't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're doing this for money, aren't you?
No, I don't get paid.
This is easy money, innit?
I couldn't tell you.
You deserve to get paid.
You tell me?
Yeah, it is. I'm speaking from experience.
Yeah.
So, like, I get paid to talk a load of crap about boxing, which is good. That's like a success, innit? But then in other areas, I'm not a success. Like, I've just come off a 3-year drink driving ban. So that's a big fuck up in my life. Not achieving in boxing, nearly beating Chris Eubank. Chris Eubank's a joke, You try not to laugh. Chris Eubank's a joke. So me losing to someone like that, it's embarrassing to have on my record. Because, do you work?
Yeah.
What do you do, if you don't mind me asking?
So I'm a barman, but I'm also studying for my masters.
Yeah, so you're in a bar, you're studying. Chris Eubank Jr. has never ever had to go to work. All he's had to do is just train, and that's it. Same with Conor Ben. So for all Chris Eubank, like some boxers, they work on building sites, for 10 hours. So how can they train 3 times a day hard when they're stuck on a building site? They can't do it, can they? A big part of training is recovery. If you're on a building site, you can't recover. But Eubank's never had to do that. Neither has Nigel Ben's son, Conor Ben, because of who their dads are. So for Chris Eubank Jr. to only have won a little daft IBO belt, that's not good enough to say all you've had to do is box. I've had to work in little shit jobs, in little dead-end factories and that. Being like security, in nightclubs, staying up till all hours. It's only since I've started making money from these videos that I've been good, financially. All the time when I was boxing, I was having to work in between. Supplements. These are expensive, When I used to box, I used to spend like £80, on a tub of protein powder.
Yeah.
It would last about 3 weeks. Putting it into my porridge, putting it into shakes. It'll be gone, just like that. You have to keep running back to the shop to buy them. If you've got sponsors, it's a big help. If your dad's got money already, it's a big help for you in boxing terms. So he hasn't done anything Eubank really. So to lose to him, it's a bit embarrassing.
Going back to like the gym, Ingle Gym seems to be like a home or a breeding spot for big personalities. You got yourself, Nassim Hamed, Billy Joe Saunders, Kell is a big personality, Johnny Nelson. Why do you think that gym's birthed so many personalities?
Because anything goes in the gym. Like there's blacks, whites, Asians, there's fat people, little skinny people. There's a few women. There's like women classes and a few women hanging about here and there. So there's no like. I don't know if there's any gay people. People say Kell's gay, but I don't know about that. Maybe not. But there's like a mixture. So there's no like there's no like racism, if you know what I mean. Because everyone gets on with everyone. Everyone's mates with everyone in the gym. And Brendan used to just encourage, just like being yourself. And just saying whatever and just using your imagination and just... There's no rule. He used to get us sparring together in the gym, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And he used to say to us, talk to him. So like if me and you were sparring, Brendan would sit there watching and he'd shout to me, talk to him. To like wind you up. Because if I'm used to doing that to an opponent in sparring, when I do it in a fight, say if me and you were fighting and I started talking to you and being a bit racist, it might take your mind off your game. So then I've got you. You know what I mean? I've got the psychological edge. Because now you're no longer thinking about, I need to use my feet more. I need to start throwing the jab a bit more. I need to keep my hands up. Now you're just thinking, I need to kill this fucking guy because he's just been a bit racist. He's had a go at my mum. Do you know what I mean? But that's the kind of thing Brendan used to encourage in the gym. Not necessarily be really personal, but just like wind each other up.
So what have you said in the ring, or what have you said to you in the ring then?
What have I... It's normally like, if you lose a fight, it's like when I lost to whoever, Eubank. When I go to the gym the next day, they'll take the piss out of you, in sparring. But it builds up like your immune system, so you become immune, you become a bit mentally, stronger. So when I'm on YouTube, I don't really care. I don't really give a fuck. Anything goes, man. Because I've been through it for years in the gym. People winding each other up and that. If someone loses a fight, you take the piss out of them. And when you're sparring them, you got the psychological edge. So it's fun, man. It's all good.
I forgot to give you something before the start of the interview, so before I move on.
Echo forwards. Oh my god.
That's for you, pal.
Oh, man, sort me out.
If you answered your phone, I would have got you something else. But
well, what else do I need?
I don't know. I need, man. Something to eat, maybe. I don't know.
No, thanks for that. You done well, mate. Are you sure this is for me? Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
I'm gonna take it back when the camera's off. Give it to Frankie Gavin.
You think I'm that type?
He was an alcoholic, wasn't he?
Frankie's a good guy, man. He's done a lot for Birmingham, and he's doing his own stuff now, like training and that. So
yeah, I've seen him like looking for jobs, on the internet. It's a bit sad, isn't it?
I didn't see that myself.
I've seen him like applying, for fucking work. But you got to pay the bills, haven't you?
Did you actually not come without your own bottle of Echo Falls?
I've cut back. Like I say, I've just come off a 3-year drink driving ban, so I've cut back. You know what I mean? And like the body gets used to this. So then you want something stronger. So, in a year of drinking, I could be on heroin, crack cocaine. So I tried to fuck it off, but thanks for that.
I can take it back for you if you want, if that helps.
Have you got the receipt?
No, I paid for it on card, so...
So you can get a refund?
Yeah.
That's a bit disrespectful though, isn't it?
It depends. Well, you're saying you're trying to cut back, and I've just given you
trying to cut back, man.
So if you'd like me to...
I think I'll drink it. I think I'll find a little room in there. Just can't drive.
Yeah, you definitely shouldn't drive.
Yeah, it just chills me out, when I'm with a woman. Have a little drink and it just calms the nerves a bit. Because like we're talking now, it's kind of flowing alright, isn't it? But if you was a nice woman...
I'm not.
I'd be struggling, man. Hard to know what to say, innit, sometimes, on a first date. This isn't a date, by the way.
I know that.
Yeah, it's a bit... I'm just saying, alcohol helps.
Yeah. Do you ever get nervous?
Not really nervous, When I used to box, the night before the fight, I'd be like laying in bed thinking, I can't lose, Even though I did lose fights. Because if I lose, I'm going to have to go back to the gym. People are going to be taking the piss out of me. I'm going to feel disappointed. My family are going to be ringing me saying, did you win? Did you lose? How did you get on? So it's just a disappointing feeling.
Mm.
You know, these journeymen, a lot of them, yeah, they get paid more than a lot of these so-called prospects in boxing. Because they fight regularly, every 2 weeks they'll fight, even though they lose.
Yeah.
They'll fight. So say if they get 800 quid a fight, so they get 800 quid, pay the manager a couple hundred quid, then they fight again 2 weeks later. But it's that whole thing of, it might be decent money, and they've got jobs as well, because they're always losing. They don't have to train full time, so they can work.
Mm.
And so they got income from a job, then they get in the boxing money. So it's a nice little income, but do you want to lose? Losing's horrible.
Being a journeyman's hard though right now, because they're not getting any work.
Struggling.
I spoke to, Louis Van Pooch.
Mm.
I spoke to Poochie 2 weeks ago, and he said all those years of doing favours for promoters, playing the game, losing, helping their prospects out who, don't knock them out so then they can have another fight week down.
Been there, man.
Now, how many fights have you seen journeymen involved in on cards now?
Yeah, it's bad for them, but it's good for me, because I don't want to see any of that crap. I don't care about all that shit. I feel for the journeyman.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I boxed a journeyman on a Carl Fox show in Nottingham about 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I was told to, hold him up. Don't stop him, because he's got a fight in 2 weeks. If you stop him, he'll get banned for 28 days, so he won't be able to box.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just messing about with him.
Mm-hmm.
But I got booed out of the arena.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore it was hard to sell tickets after that, because people don't want to see all that messing about.
Mm-hmm.
They want to see blood and guts and knockouts.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, these journeymen might not be fighting much, but I don't really care, because I don't want to see that anyway.
Going back to you saying, me asking you about you getting nervous, do you ever find social situations a bit awkward?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said to you before, I don't know if you picked up on camera before, but when you're walking in the streets,
yeah,
somebody walks past you and they wave. And you think they're waving to you, but they're not. They're waving at someone behind you. Yeah. Just stuff like that. I fucking hate it.
Well, I thought it was really difficult, with this interview, in the sense of, I didn't know if I was speaking, like I said to you off camera, I didn't know if I was speaking to you or meeting you up or anything like that. So, when I gave you a call, you must have seen that on your phone, just thought, no, I'm not answering that.
Yeah, what did you think?
I didn't know.
You think I wasn't going to turn up? Is that what you...
No, I didn't know if I was speaking to the real Tyan Booth.
Yeah, and like I said to you, who would pretend to be me, though? You know what I mean?
But someone put up a fake YouTube account of you.
Yeah, they did, yeah. They're trying to steal my videos. There are people like that.
Let's get back to the boxing. Let me get your prediction on Brook and Crawford.
Like I say, man, we don't know where Kell is, do we? We don't really know who his trainer is. We don't know. I want Kell to win. It's just a tough one, isn't it? It's hard to know at what level he's at. Who was the last opponent that he boxed?
DeLuca.
That you remember,
Kell Brooks?
Yeah.
It was Mark DeLuca.
That was his last fight, yeah?
That was the last fight, yeah.
I've never heard of him, of you, until that fight.
A little bit, because he's, was it Ken Casey from Dropkick Murphys, and he's doing all that boxing up in Boston, isn't he? So there's that connection going on there. I read a bit about that, so... But not overly. I hadn't overly heard about DeLuca.
Maybe because I'm not a hardcore boxing fan like I used to be.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more casual. I'm in between hardcore and casual. So I've never heard of him, but hopefully Kell wins.
Do you think boxing's catered to hardcore fans right now?
Is it catered to? Well, Joshua Boazzi fought at college.
Yeah.
So if I was a hardcore boxing fan, I'd be thinking, what the fuck is this shit here?
Mm-hmm.
We want to see him against Anthony Yard or Callum Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of college. I've never heard of these fuckers.
It's a tough fight though for him.
It was a good fight, I watched it on Anthony Joshua's Instagram live.
Mm-hmm.
And that college, he did better than we thought. Just, like Otto Wally against Tyson Fury. And Andy Ruiz against Joshua.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes, you do get little upsets.